A lot of different ways we can go, I think, with the speech. But I'm just going to hit on some of the things that just struck me right out of the gate. And we talked about this a little bit earlier this evening, there were really two parts of the speech. The first part was where Donald Trump was just like Chatty Cathy, right? Just like boom, 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 just everything, just rumble, and just pushing it out. Then the second part was where, I don't know, I think he fell asleep. I think he fell asleep in the middle of his own speech because the man slowed down to a pace that I was like, what are you doing? Everything became very much more protracted in what he was saying. And so when you're following that, you're trying to get a sense of where the president wanted to go. Did you want to bring the energy and really kind of move the country around the agenda as you were laying it out? Okay, we may agree or disagree on that. Or were you really just kind of like trying to get us into this thing where everything was blood and gore and violence and taking horrible stories that happened to really good people and splaying it out in front of the country in a way that was, I thought, dishonorable to them and dishonored their pain and did not show the empathy a president should show when talking about a service member being wounded or a young woman being attacked. So that part for me, just as a sort of a top line, was very telling. What I also discovered that Donald Trump's economy boils down to three things. It is the Wall Street market, a 401k, and tariffs. Because if you look at the economics part of the speech, that's generally what he talked about. Everybody is, benefiting from Wall Street. The Dow is at 50,000 and the NASDAQ at 7,000. That's a big deal. And then, of course, everyone's going to get a 401k. Your kid's going to get $1,000 to put into a 401k that's going to grow to $100,000 over 18 years. I did the math. I don't know what kind of interest rates those 401ks are going to be paying, but maybe Donald Trump knows something we don't. And, of course, tariffs. And the fact that he settled on this, I don't know if you caught this little ditty, Simone. Tariffs will replace the system of income tax. How does that work, Simone?
I was almost an econ major in school. I was just 2 credits shy of econ, but my advisor, shout out to Sharice Williams, said, baby, you just need to graduate. So I am not an econ. I was almost an econ minor. Look, that is not how tariffs work. And I think it is striking that going into the State of the Union, you would not have known, like, if you just beamed in from outer space, you would have no idea that the president had the worst approval ratings of any president ever going into a State of the Union, including the last time he gave a State of the Union in his first term. You would not have known that the Supreme Court just struck down the tariffs that he talked so glowingly about tonight as illegal a couple days ago. You would not know that beef is up 15%.
I know. I thought of you on the beef.
Beef is up 15%. I said it before. People are using Hamburger Helper. And no, folks out there, you actually do not need the beef for Hamburger Helper. That's why people are buying it, because they cannot afford actual beef right now. It was like a tale of two Americas. And I thought about all the things. I was doing the live stream with Eugene while the speech was going, and I thought about all the things that we didn't hear. I didn't hear Alex Preddy or Renee Good. I did not hear about the Epstein survivors. No. I didn't hear about how the president's going to ensure that Republicans win in November. I heard a lot of lies. I heard a lot of bluster. And then I saw a game show. I saw he was giving us, sorry, Oprah, but he was giving us Oprah Winfrey, like, you get a car, you get a car, you get a medal, you get a medal, you get a medal. And that is quite intentional, because the president, again, I've said before, I do not agree with him on much, but I will give credit where credit is due. He is a master marketer. And those moments where he was giving out medals of honor to heroes, our servicemen and women, who's not going to clap for that? That's going to be a viral moment. That's going to go viral. When the USA hockey team, men's hockey team, when they came out, they were paraded out. Our Olympians, these Americans that, have put their blood, sweat, and tears into their craft and who won, I'm excited about a gold. But what made me cringe, and the people online were also cringing in the chat on the live stream on YouTube, on MS Now's YouTube, pardon me, using our servicemen and women, the Olympians, as political props to serve his agenda. That did not go over well with the people that are plugged in and paying attention. But to be very clear, the moments that make it to TikTok and the breakthrough in the non-political group chats, people might not see it as that. They'll just see it. Some people might just see it as the president is honoring these heroes. Yeah. And that is why the putting context around this is important. The last point I'll make is this.